Week 1 of the Reefscape season is in the books, and here is my video to talk about all the different bits and bobs and odds and ends that I wouldn't have gotten to in my other 2 recap vids. First, SpongeBob bubbles. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, we get the point that there's bubbles. Like I was saying, okay. Oh man, that's gonna get old very quick. We have the SpongeBob bubbles to transition the cameras into focusing on the cages, but holy crap, if I'm gonna watch 100 matches a weekend, I gotta hear that 100 times at least. It's even worse when Canadian Pacific couldn't get the right camera angle on the robots, and they were just spamming it. Also, with the CNC fish, I do not know why they have the end graphic be a machined fish entering water. I feel like there are 100 different graphic animations. Why metal fish? So that's that out the way. This week still had insanely goated matches. For the fact that it was week 1, we saw almost full reefs. I'm willing that there's already a full reef out there as I'm recording this, because it is week 2 as I'm recording this. We had 1690 in the finals in the first Israel district event. We had Chargers in the Alpha Dogs, almost max out a reef up in the Ontario Newmarket district. We, of course, had Bare Metal and Chill Out almost do it twice at the Glacier Peak district event. And while they didn't fill the reef up all the way, the Robo Wranglers and Robo Charges at the Waco district did finish with the highest clean score. He had 2 points of penalty from that 1690 match. The Robo Wranglers and Robo Chargers didn't score that much of the tube compared to some of the other high scores, but this one just kept going with the algae. Just the Robo Wranglers didn't stop. In terms of most points from penalty, we turn to the 7th qualifying match of the Wainimi Port Regional, where this match ended with 156 points of penalty. There is only 21 points of offense. So how you end up scoring this much penalty? Well, 2658 emotion, I do believe is how they're called, except the E is an epsilon, and I don't even have an epsilon symbol on my keyboard. This is just a sideways M. Emotion stalled out as a defense bot, so Alliance partner 5515 Blue Power Robotics went to help. Now, you cannot cross through your opponent's barge section, and they do that. You cannot be the second robot on the opposing Alliance's side. They do that. They then cross back through the opponent's barge section, and then cross back again, be on the other side of the field again when they're not supposed to, cross back, and then run into an opposing bot at the cages, and then do it again during endgame in an attempt to de-score the park. So yeah, 156 points. Those flags were flying. Blue Power Robotics got a yellow card from this match, and credit where credit's due, they don't do that again for the rest of the regional. Go 6-3 after this and almost get selected. They were the 20th ranked after all the Alliance selection happened. So there you go. Pinnacle's playoff match 6 went very wrong for the number 7 seed. It would be really nice if we had some footage of this match. The Alliance captain 3189, the Decabots, got stuck on the reef in Autonomous and there was no way for them to free themselves in teleops, so they were just stuck on the reef for the whole match. 2073 Eagle Force bottomed out on Algae, which left backup 9114 the Rotationaries as the lone scorer, even though they were a defense bot. There was nothing any of those teams could do, and I was watching this live. This was actually one of the first matches I wrote down because I just wanted to see how they were gonna get the bot off. Here is that moment of them freeing the robot. Glacier Peak had a fun moment in their Quals match 54. We have the Jagbots on defense, zipping around, running into the wall, running into tube, and meow! That tube goes flying over the driver's station, almost taking out some people. That would have hurt. That tube does not look soft whatsoever. How much tube has gone flying? It makes me wonder just how many game elements have left the field of play. Like last year, those rings went everywhere. Speaking of Glacier Peak, it seems to have rewritten the meta on human players, which will rewrite the meta on defensive strats, because human players, if their robot's getting defended at one coral station, can just pick up coral and run to the other coral station and drop them off there. So that was employed a lot, even resulted in a rules clarification that yes, that strategy is legal because it's your own coral station. And still speaking of the Glacier Peak event, there are auto captions there for, the hard of hearing, which is cool, but it didn't quite work all the time. So it has a team accept a racist offer and auto-cucumbered gracious professionalism as gracious for, yeah. Maybe not the best administration to say that in. Since we've had so many nearly full reefs this first week, first event, I think the offensive strat is going to be fill up the reef as fast as you can, because everyone's gonna start maxing out these reefs. Then you focus on algae. Fill as much of that as you can, and then go to your deep climbs. So tube, balls, climb. Ranking points still go burr in qualification matches, which has led some teams to score algae into the opposing alliance's processor so they can get that cooperation bonus, which checks out. Sometimes you just gotta score points for your opponent to help you out. That's kind of the point of the cooperation bonus, although that's an extreme to it. Now for the big three of week 1. Offensive bot of the week was such a challenge because so many of the top teams emerging are completely offensively minded, and they do it so well. So many different mechanisms to pull out these top tubes, so many different autos to deal with the reef. Couldn't decide between these two teams. I'm just gonna give it to both 1690 Orbit and 111 Wild Stang, because they score so effectively into the reef, into the barge. Two very different mechanisms to go about it. I loved 1690's approach, but I just love Wild Stang's Ferris wheel arm in motion. So it goes to both. Defensive bot of the week, also a challenge because not a whole lot of teams out here playing defense. Someone mentioned 427 out in the Mid-Atlantic district, and I like their stuff. Honorable mention though. So for defensive bot of the week, you gotta give it to 9301 the Mech Rams out in the Monterey Regional, because the way they were able to completely shut down, they put in amazing work on defense. Now, for the top moment of the week, I'm giving it to the nearly full reefs, because some of these were 1 off, 2 off from being maxed out. And this is the first week of events, okay? Orbit and Sycamore did it at the very first event of the year. Can't get any better than that. I mean, it can, and we'll definitely see it get better as weeks progress. And if you want to keep coming back to me for these recaps, and you could call it analysis of these events as they progress, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out. I'll see y'all in week 2. And remember, gracious in victory, professional in defeat. Amen.
177-42, a new event high score with 156 points and fouls.